What's up to my people of the Booge? It's Friday night, it's 7:30, so let's dance.
The Trump tariff roller coaster of the last few days.
Why did he impose them with such flourish last week, only to then put them on pause?
Are we now witnessing an all-out trade war that is escalating at dizzying speed?
Government officials and elected politicians might have been gaming the stock market.
I worked for 22 years in the metals industry before getting engaged in full-time politics, and to watch the industrial decline, unnecessary in most cases, industrial decline, is pretty depressing. If the government don't act by Friday, that is the end of steel making in our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Greetings. What is going on? How are we doing? What's the happy haps? What's going on, people? People in the live chat. Let's do a quick name check, shall we? We've got Richard Marsden in the house tonight. We've got Brian White. We've got Zero. We've got Sarah Davies. We've got Billy Kershaw, ladies and gents. Round of applause for Billy Kershaw. Blue Badgers in the house this evening. What's going on, people? What's going down? Let's get rid of the backing music there. Let's start this proper, shall we? Should we get the chat up? There we go. All of the chat, all of the peeps. Right, let's kick this off right, shall we? Greetings, weary traveller. Come in from the unforgiving crosswinds and punishing storms of geopolitical chaos out there. Take off your boots, your hat, your coat, and make thyself comfortable as I might welcome thee and pour thee some rum once again, and seek to tickle the bollies of your satirical sensibilities once more, with my oft-tabled, much-fabled dispatches from dystopia, my tales of the fails, my Friday night attempt to bring smiles to your frowns, and indeed light to your darkness in this next political and ranty hour, designed to give your funny bone a funny boner. Let's not mess around tonight. Let's get into it. There is much to discuss, all framed to disgust. It's me. It's you. It's wine. It's beer. It's the end of the world. No hope. Hedonism. Drugs. Des Lynam. Balls, catharsis, rants, community, ketamine? It's the 364th episode spectacular. Ladies and gents, let's go. All right, so, first off, how are we doing, guys? How are the people in the live chat? Meditate More is in the live chat. First time I've seen that name. Hazel Hun. What's going on, Hazel? What's up to Rich? How you all doing? I saw some nice comments in there about the AI music that I put in ahead of the show. I usually start the stream about an hour before, so everybody can kind of, get nice and comfortable. Mojo Sabian's in the house. There he is. Slightly late to the party, but you're all good. You're very welcome here, Mojo. What's going on then? What is the happy haps? Me, I have had a fun week. So I have had a pretty fun, eventful week. It's Easter holidays at the moment. Don't know if you guys know that. If you've got kids or whatever. It's Easter holidays. It's always a bit of a challenge. Because you've got kids, they're off school. The nursery is shut. We've got two of them, and, we have no immediate childcare to hand to sort of help us while we're both working. So it's pretty full on. Tearing around the house, breaking things, having tantrums, fighting with each other. It's stressful. It's tiring. I'm exhausted, both fatigue-wise and also having ingested the toxins from the back end of my car. Exhausted. I'm kidding, of course, though the seasonally on-brand campaign to stress me out, to kill me, really, through childcare, is very much in full swing over the last week. And the kids broke up this time last Friday. So that's 1 week of 2 done. We're halfway through it now, guys. And then once I've got through this next week, once I survive it and they are back in school and at the nursery again, then I can feel like I'm the one that's coming back from the dead. You know, I've been resurrected. I'll be returning more reliably to YouTube at that point. I'll be like, yeah, I'm back, just like Jesus. Yes, I will portray the hardship of parenthood as though it's somehow the same as dying on a cross for it. Feel my burden, people. And I know that might sound, a little bit blasphemic. Honestly, I think Jesus would understand. I think he would. Because I don't know how up on your Bibles you guys are. But like, raising one kid in the Bible was so hard that his parents stopped writing stories about him. Like Mary and Joseph just fucking hung it up. They just quit. They were like, I haven't got time to keep writing every single thing that you do down, no matter how many fucking miracles you come out with. I'm not your fucking biographer. I'm busy here with dishes and the table and the washing and shit. And that was just one kid. One child. And he was so good as well. He was literally the best kid ever that ever existed. And it was too hard. They were too busy, tidying and cooking and cleaning and carpenting to document anything. For fucking years, there's no stories about him. In between the juicy bits. Obviously, it's just season 1 and season 12. Just nothing in between. And then finally, when he gets to like 30 or 33, they're like, do you know what? Maybe we should start writing some of this down. This would make a hell of a book, wouldn't it? Should we pick up where we left off? Should we? People won't care, will they? They don't care about like the middly bit. Do you think people would be all right with that? Just imagine if the Bible had been a flop. Like, imagine if it had just been like, people read it, they're like, I don't know. Just one hardback print edition goes straight into the pulp alongside Alan Partridge's Bouncing Back and Liz Truss's memoir. But yeah. Easter, guys. Easter holidays is where we're at now. Halfway through it. Toughing it out. Every fucking day. And I always think, I promise we'll get onto some politics stuff in a minute. I always think Easter is a bit of a, it's a funny one. It's a funny thing to celebrate. Isn't it? Because not only is it rooted in the attempted murder of somebody, it's really what this whole thing is, right? It's like, oh my God, you're never going to believe who they nailed to a fucking cross today. They nailed him up there. They hung him up. You're never going to believe fucking Jesus they put up there. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, okay. What do we do? Should we do something? Yeah, of course we should. We should, get the kids their chocolate eggs and put the lamb in the oven. Let's have a good get together. That's basically what it is. You're celebrating the attempted murder of somebody, of your hero. In fact. celebrate your hero getting nailed to a cross with shiny foil-wrapped chocolate eggs, guys. So not only is it a bit weird, not only is it all actually basically rubbish, you know, because I looked into this a couple of years ago, and the name Easter actually comes from the pagan goddess Istra, or something along those lines, which means east, right? Feels right, doesn't it? East, Istra. And they worship her because, or they worshipped her because the sun started rising from the east, you know, sort of earlier in the day in spring. And spring is then obviously when the flowers and the veg and the fruits start coming back, right? To Spring Harvest Festival is what it is. They worship the sun because it comes up earlier from the east, and the fruit and the food comes out of it. It's new life. It's the resurrection of food. Like, it's so fucking obvious that that's where it comes from. So it's a bit weird that is, you know, you celebrate murder, but also it's quite obviously horseshit. But it's also kind of funny because I always think like it's a great example of how agnostic or atheist a Western society has become now. Because it's like, take a look at Christian festivals, right? Christian celebrations. And all of the observances and things that you are supposed to do or not do according to the Bible, according to Jesus's teachings. And it's like, we can't help ourselves but shamelessly keep the ones that we find fun. But then, like, that's it. Like, none of the hard shit. None of the stuff that's actually like, maybe I have to go through this suffering to build my character or show sacrifice. Like, we don't do anything that's even harder than X, Y, and Z. We're just like, no, fuck that. Fuck it straight off. You know? So Easter, sure, I could do with a few chocolate eggs. You know? Who doesn't like chocolate eggs? I could do with a rack of lamb. No problem. Oh, I love Easter. Sure, I'm a Christian. What's next? Christmas. Christmas, great. Yes, of course I'll observe Christmas. I'll go out Christmas Eve and get fucking shit hammered, gorge myself on turkey, open up some presents. No sex before marriage. I don't know about that one. I mean, it's from old scriptures, isn't it? It's from old teachings, old outdated modes and teachings. You know, it was written a long time ago, I think. You know, I don't think they had vaginas back then. I think it was a long time ago. Like, we shouldn't take it literally. We should parabolize these things as soon as it's not fun. Let's talk about some news, shall we? Let's talk about the happy haps over this past week.
Prince Andrew's and Knott's Burger.
So, what's been happening, guys? This week has been the most volatile for the American stock markets in the last few years, certainly, if not the last few decades. And now, and the dollar as well. I don't know if you saw that today. The dollar's on the slide. Again, and you had the tariffs stuff earlier in the week, which obviously wreaked havoc on a whole load of corporations. Their value was slashed. Some of Trump's biggest donors, they were forced to reckon with the reality that maybe, guys, in hindsight, in retrospect, now that I've had time to think about it, maybe giving the Covfefe convict free reign of the Treasury might have had some downsides. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. In hindsight, maybe that wasn't too smart. You know, like, thanks for paying for my inauguration party, Zuck. Thanks very much. Thanks for inexplicably paying Melania Trump $28 million for an Amazon documentary that nobody will be watching, Jeffrey Bezos. That's not a bribe at all, is it? Thanks very much, Zuck. Thanks very much, Jeff. Do you want to see the prize that you won? Yeah? Okay. I want to see what hundreds of millions of dollars in donations will get you. Well, the Meta share price this week, guys, went from a peak of nearly $750 a share back in February down to $500. So that's like a drop of nearly, is that like a third in value? 246 would be, so if it was, yeah, I don't know, I'm not good enough at maths to work that out. 750 down to 500. Like, that's a bit of a fucking drop. And Amazon. Amazon went down from $242 a share down to $170 this week. So also not insignificant. These people are becoming significantly less wealthy off the back of Donald Trump's policies. That's Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. Do we need to mention Elon? And Tesla? The share price for Tesla. I think the only one doing well out of Donald Trump's leadership and fiscal decision-making, the only people who are making money out of that seem to be Republican senators and congressmen who appear to have been insider trading on the back of the 90-day pause announcement. That's the only people who have financially benefited from this recent raft of Trumpian policies. Like I was thinking earlier, guys. I was thinking earlier that maybe that's not even coming from a place of greed. You know, like maybe it's actually coming from a place of marketing and survival. Like they know that they inherited a strong economy from Joe Biden. They know that the growth was there at that point. They know that eggs were cheaper. They know that things were stable. But since Trump came in and started acting fucking batshit, he's gone legitimately crazy. Talking about invading places. And, you know, the company that he keeps, the Tesla share price, has collapsed. He's installed crooks into positions of power. Like, we all know the myriad of stuff that he's done, right? Well, if you go back to this, you know, insider trading business, like maybe this was all actually a sort of marketing campaign. You know, like now they can say like, what are you talking about? Like America's failing. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's literally swimming in money. She's made so much money on the stock market the other day. The stock market is exploding. Look at her. You know, it's like a very visual thing that they can go to market with and go, no, look, we're making loads of money, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't know if you saw, guys, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's literally never bought stocks before, by all accounts. Doesn't really have much interest in the stock market, investment, whatever. Never bought a share before. And the other day, about half an hour before the announcement that the tariffs were going to be relaxed, she just decided to. It's just a wild coincidence that she just decided to right then and there, as they were tanking off the back of the tariffs, she bought into companies that were specifically hardly hit by Trump's tariffs. So she bought low, then he relaxes the tariffs, the stock soar, she's making a fucking killing. Like, it looks so bad. It looks so crooked. Never bought shares before. And yes, she absolutely is the sort of MAGA insider who would have known what was about to happen, what would be about to be announced, sort of thing. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, often referred to as AOC, right? She called for all members of Congress to disclose any stocks that they had bought in the last 24 hours. She said, this is in The Guardian, she said, I've been hearing some interesting chatter on the floor. Disclosure deadline for these purchases, if you were a congressman, congresswoman, senator, whatever, you have to disclose these investments. She says, disclosure deadline is May the 15th, and we're about to learn a few things. She says, it's time to ban insider trading in Congress. Like, how is that not banned already? How is that not? Like, isn't it insider trading is illegal already, isn't it? It's already a crime. It's time to ban insider trading in Congress? Is that like a whole other legal entity? Like, shouldn't it be doubly illegal already in Congress? You know? Like, you get found out and kicked out and barred from public office. Like, that should just be there. How is that not already the deal, guys? But here is the depressing thing. Like, you know, I was thinking the other day, like, you can take whatever horrible and amoral thing you can imagine, and already you can be guaranteed there is a pre-written 3-bullet point PowerPoint presentation that Republicans will just come out with immediately to support it. Like, it exists. They've already thought of it. They've got their defenses in check. Whatever the policy, however horrific, you can dream it up. There will be a Republican riposte or recourse for it. You know, like, if you try to ban congressmen or congresswomen from buying shares, or give them a serious penalty if they are found to have been doing so with insider knowledge, within minutes, you'll get some cash-hungry shill on Fox News or Breitbart saying it's an outrage. Like, you could take the worst ideas ever, right? And they will find a carefully constructed cocktail of journalese to make it sellable, to make it palatable. Back to the people whose critical thinking skills tops out at fucking traffic lights. Is it a red? Is it a red light up? Well, that could mean stop. I think it means stop. It could mean something else though. I think that it means stop. If it's a red, is it a green? Well, then green probably means go. Like, that's as advanced as it gets. With a huge chunk of Fox News viewers. God help them if the sun walks in. I was like, no, Pop, it's the orange one. The orange light in between the red and the green. Oh, well, God damn it, not the orange one. Now you confuse me, son. The worst ideas ever. Worst policies you can dream up. And they will find a way to sell it to idiots, to morons. You know, like congressmen, congresswomen, senators, people who work for the public shouldn't be able to buy shares off the back of their private industrial privileged knowledge. It's a given. It's common sense. It's corruption, right? If you allow them to do that. That is just a given. It's something that we would all agree to if you just asked anybody around a pub table or a bar table or whatever. It's market manipulation. Right? It's corruption. It disrupts the integrity of investment as a whole. But suggest that on conservative American media, and immediately they've got their pre-written 3-bullet point thing that they pulled out of the thing. It was written like 2 or 3 years ago, ready for this day, and now it's time to shine. The guy with the red tie walks on to Fox News and he's like, any American should be free to invest. Any American should be free to put their money into businesses of his or her choosing. This isn't about protecting the integrity of investment. This is about Democrats trying to take away the winnings of shrewd, clever, shrewd, very, very shrewd minds like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, who saw the apple on the tree and she plucked it and she put it in her pocket. And Democrats could have made money too if they had listened to the President of the United States when he told them that now was a good time to buy. But they all suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, so they couldn't bring themselves to listen. And now they're all bitter about their losses, so they're trying to legislate away our spoils. And I'm sorry, no, we will not be prohibiting members of Congress from investing in the companies that are crying out for investment. It would be anti-business, anti-growth, and downright un-American. And you hear that, right? If you're like some 67-year-old Fox News Republican guy sat on your porch with your gun, you hear that and you go, well, he seems to know what he's talking about. And then your kid will like walk in one day and go like, oh, I think we should ban public servants from making money off their insider knowledge. And you will reply, but the Fox News guy said red light. He said red light to that, so I'll say red light too. Any idea, no matter how disgusting, they will find a way to sell it to the moronic masses. Racial segregation. They'll find a way to sell it to them. They'll be right there on Breitbart, on Newsmax. All the president said was he thought that colored folks, black folks, God damn it. All the president said was that black folks, just as Democrats ask us to listen to women, and women's rights should be up to women. All he said was that for black folks, he trusts them to run and govern their own affairs. Black people know how best to educate their kids. Black people know how best to ride their own black kids to school in their own bus. And so really he's empowering them. He's giving them responsibility to manage their own affairs, take their own kids to school, to their own schools for black kids with black buses. Bernie and AOC say that it's racist, but honestly, everything is racist to these people. Actually, what it is respectful to black folks. It gives them responsibility in a way that is not condescending or mollycoddling. So really, I think that what the American people will understand is that actually sometimes going back to 19th century apartheid mentalities, it's kind of progressive, right? That's whatever the crime, whatever the awfulness, however horrific the policy, they will find a way to sell it to the moronic masses. There will always be some DC think tank, some red tie Republican right there to string the right bunch of words together with the right number of smiles and pauses to convince a largely uneducated American public that something decent is evil or something evil is actually all right. You know, when you think about it, I never really thought about it. Not even like that. I still haven't really thought about it. I literally just let your words slew out of your mouth and permeate into and throughout my personality. And now that's what I believe. Your speech is like a subtitle to my entire fucking personality. What else is going on? What else is happening, guys? I've got my son in the chat. Popping in there, saying hello to people. Should we get him in? Should we get him in for the lock-in in half an hour? My guest of honor. I always feel like he becomes the star of the show, doesn't he? Bless him. He's doing really well at the moment. It's about 2 or 3 things he's absolutely smashing it on. And I'm super proud of him. I sound like such a sort of gushy dad, don't I? I'm sure you lot prefer the angry ranting, but, there is a heart there, really. Right, what else is happening, guys? Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage seems to be going through some sort of rebrand at the moment, doesn't he? 2 polls this week showed Reform and Labour are basically tied now in pole position. Reform and Labour. And then the Tories are just like 2 points behind them. And then the Lib Dems are 2 points behind them. So Reform and Labour, right at the top. And Reform are vying to edge ahead of Labour. That's their whole thing at the moment. Farage is desperately trying to appeal to centre-right and centre-left, traditional heartlands types, right? And how is he doing this? He is campaigning to say that British steel should be nationalised. He's visiting Scunthorpe, visiting the site, the British Steel Workers site down in Scunthorpe. There's a lot of talk at the moment about what's going to happen to those jobs. A little bit earlier, they announced that they're recalling Parliament tomorrow. House of Commons and the House of Lords are being recalled. Which, just as a side note, like so much is made of when Farage jumps on a bandwagon, isn't it? You know, like, oh, he's speaking up for British steel. He's down here to be at one with the British steel workers. He's down here with the workers. Nigel Farage is coming. He's going after traditional Labour voters. Whoa, Labour should be really worried. I'm like, could somebody please just turn up next to him? I'm not worried at all. I want to turn this into a joke, right? Can somebody please just go to Scunthorpe and turn up next to him and follow him around, but they're dressed as the Grim Reaper? Can they do that? Because I would fucking cry with laughter. Because he is the Grim Reaper for a lot of these old industries. He tried to speak up for the fishermen, didn't he? And what happened? What happened to the British fishing industry? He fucked it, didn't he? Turns up to the farmers' protest. What happened? Next minute, he's talking up a US trade deal. The Trump trade deal, even though it's going to decimate farming and agriculture. So he'll fuck it. Again, every time some industry is in trouble, he flies in by helicopter, doesn't he? He speaks up and fucks it. Like, he has an aptitude for speaking up when he fucks things that is unrivaled by anyone except for Jodie Marsh in her heyday, guys. Like, every time this cunt turns up somewhere, it's like a bellwether for the death of it. It really is. Like fishing, farming, now steel. You know, he jets down there. He's like, I'm here to speak up for the steel industry. That's why I'm here. I'm down here to speak up for the workers. Like, somebody needs to dress up as the Grim fucking Reaper and follow him around. Just troll him. I'm so here for the petty trolling. Like, if he turns up at your small business or factory, immediately you should be like, get the fuck out of it. It's like a bad omen. He's like some welly-wearing, bunting-drunk version of the little girl in the ring. Or something like, as soon as you see, like, fuck, we're all fucked. We're dead. Just appears moments before death. So, he's all about the workers now, is Nige. And weirdly, supposedly, reportedly, all about nationalisation. Which is a bit weird. For a Thatcherite right-winger like him. All about nationalising things. All about the workers. Right at the moment, he's desperately trying to gobble up a few more Labour voters to just inch ahead in the polls. Also on his rebrand this week, he's all about comparing Donald Trump to Liz Truss, which I thought was interesting. Don't know if anybody saw that. Nigel Farage compared Donald Trump to Liz Truss. He said he disagreed with the tariffs. He said he thought they were a mistake, similar to Liz Truss, which is going to be quite funny, I think. Because it's like, Liz Truss loves all the MAGA shit now, doesn't she? He can't get enough of it. Old Lizzie. Like, she had a choice. She's a classic right-winger these days. Classic culture war Tory. She had a choice to either fess up that she didn't know what she was doing and made some mistakes, or blame the whole thing on the deep state and hit the right-wing podcast circuit where they believe all the conspiracy theory bollocks. Right? Those were her choices. She went for the latter. Like, they believe Donald Trump is a prophet sent by God to expose a network of pizza-gobbling paedophiles, don't they? They're not going to not believe this bitch when she says, oh, the banks had it a little bit in for me. It's not a stretch too far for the QAnon lot, is it? But yeah, if Trump takes exception to that, because remember, he and Farage used to be bosom buddies, golden elevator lift buddies. If Trump takes exception to Farage comparing him to Liz Truss, like Trump is basically Truss. Truss made some huge mistakes. She was a disaster. And that's Trump, is ostensibly what Farage is saying. If Trump takes exception to that, it's tacitly like Trump is saying Liz Truss is a bellend, isn't it? Which is going to be so weird for Lizzie now. Because then she's going to be like, well, this is a bit awkward. A little bit. I basically made MAGA my retirement plan, Donald. Can you please not acknowledge that I was an over-promoted chancer who didn't know what she was doing? Like, can we please just keep up with the deep state nonsense, Donald? I thought you were a fan of the deep state. I'm just doing what you did. But then also, conversely, if Nigel Farage accepts that Truss was bad, then doesn't he acknowledge that it wasn't the deep state that brought her down, right? It was her mistake. She went too far, too fast. She brought herself down. It wasn't the deep state. So is it just her deep state that he rejects as being real? Or does that also expand and extend over to Donald Trump? Does he think that Donald Trump was rightfully prosecuted for fraud, rape, and the insurrection? Like, where do the witch hunts start and where do they stop, guys? Like, honestly, I always feel really sorry for Donald Trump. For all that he's been through, that he's had to endure over the years. The trials, the accusations, the witch hunts, the smears, the fines, the verdicts, the cross he's had to bear. People, you can have no idea how crucified he must have felt at times. The burden that he has endured. You can have no idea how hard, how tough, how challenging that must have felt. Unless you've had both of your children at home with you for an entire week, which is also really tough, actually. Should we end on a fun story? Should we round off on a fun story? See what we can do. Let's quickly try and smash out a fun one, shall we? All right, here we go.
Prince Andrew's and Knott's Burger.
So, guys, here is a thing that I found on Reddit earlier. Let me see if I can get the picture up. Hold on. There we go. Right, so I found this on Reddit earlier. Check this. HR, human resources, HR makes us generate AI art slop as a fun challenge. Guys, has this happened to you? Does this go on at your place of work? Is this what corporate life is like these days in 2025, is it? And like, first, right, let me just say this before we really get into this. I used to work in HR for many, many years, specifically in recruitment. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for those that did at the same time as I did, but also for those who still do, who continue to work in that area, because it is quite often an impossible department to work in. You know, like, you are dealing with the worst of the worst sometimes. Like, not just, you know, underperformers, disciplinaries, like that sort of thing, but just, you know, full on gross misconduct, on occasion, like, you know, sexual harassment or something. But also, you know, occasionally you'd be asked to run a bunch of workshops, and you tell yourself that you're making it quite fun, don't you? But quite often you can't escape the reality that the purpose of the workshop isn't actually for it to be fun, or even to stop people from sexually harassing each other, but to protect the company so that they can say in a tribunal, well, we train all of our staff to not sniff the young intern's hair, so I don't see how it could be our fault. Right? Maybe you could wheel the Republican MAGA guy in from Fox News. Well, I think the American people understand that getting your dick out in the kitchenette is all right from time to time. So, they have to make work fun, kind of. They are sort of responsible for the culture of the business. But also they have to deal with complaints, don't they? They also have to run training courses, and it's not outrageous to think that, you know, just to lighten things up, maybe after a tricky start to the year, uncertainty in the markets, maybe it's hitting their P&L or something, like maybe after a tricky March and February, like maybe they've put this thing on their Slack channel and they're like, you know, hey, this might be fun, you know, let's try and lighten things up a bit. You know, we could all post an AI image of, you know, what our job is, right? So I get it. I get what it's trying to do, or trying to be, maybe. But it's also a little bit like, I mean, it's kind of asking for workplace trolling, isn't it? Like, it's not begging for some sort of abuse and troll factor, I don't think. Like, I wouldn't be able to resist. I'd be straight in there. Like, you can literally post anything in that Slack channel and say that the AI generated it. Couldn't you? Just blame it on the tech. I think it became sentient. I think that's what happened. Like, what? I'm sorry if you considered it inappropriate, but the GPT thing dreamt up a guy hanging himself with his own phone call in the call center thing. Like, it's not my fault that the thing has a great sense of humor. If anything, it's impressive. It's impressive that it has that sense of humor in AI. Anyway, they say, this is what they put out to their employees. Hello again, esteemed colleagues. I thought we could make a small fun challenge today, seeing that it's Friday. An AI challenge of sorts, they say. Copy and paste this next bit into ChatGPT, and then they have the thing that they want their employees to paste in. And it says, this is my job description, and you like caveat with the job description. This is my job description, call center analyst or something. Create an image inspired by pop culture to describe my job at, and then it's, redacted, sort of blanked out there a little bit. Looks like a short name though. Maybe like 3 letters, possibly 4. I don't know what it is, like IBM maybe, KPMG. Feels like a, KPMG, PwC kind of thing, doesn't it? Feels like the sort of thing that they would do. Anyway, it says, put your job description in, create an image inspired by pop culture to describe my job at wherever it is. It says, make it fun, heroic, fun and heroic, Gen Z, colourful and quirky. Make it fun and heroic. Cool. Yeah. You know, I don't know what would that be? That would be like a smiling Hercules, or as he's plunging his sword into the grieving shareholders of a retail business going through the liquidation process. Fun and heroic in the professional services firm Slack channel. Make it fun and heroic, guys. Gen Z, colourful and quirky is the prompt. And then the prompt that you are supposed to finish with is, so colourful and quirky. I uploaded an image of myself for reference. And then you press enter and it generates it. And you get the image, and then you're supposed to, post it back to Slack. And everyone laughs at each other's AI slop heroic and fun images, guys, of their job description. And I mean, like, I get it. I get it. I get that it's fun. The fun part isn't lost on me. Even though quite often, if you tune into this show frequently, you will know that I quite often pull the fun out of everything and stamp on it. I will throw your fucking birthday cake in the bin in front of your crying children. I put out the fun fire, is what I do. I know this. I'll stamp on your flowers. Fucking dare me. I get that it's fun. I'm not trying to take the fun away from this. But also, this is exactly the sort of shit that kind of pisses people off about office jobs, isn't it? When they try to over-amp the fun factor. Like, I reckon there's about 3/4 of the employees of any company are just like, I just want to come in, do my work, clock out, and then go home and check on my kids. Clear my emails, do this, that, and the other. And then I just want to go out. Do you want to come team building, Tom? No. No, don't make me team building. What was that? I mean, yes, yeah. Sure. Down for the team building. What are we doing this time? We're going bowling. Oh, fucking kill me. Nail me to the cross. And don't bring me back to life, and I'll fucking kill you. So this is exactly the sort of thing that pisses people off about office jobs in particular. Like, nobody's telling builders to join the company Slack channel, are they? And tell them at 3 p.m. on a Friday to generate a terrible, quirky cartoon of their job, are they? They're straight down the pub, like you're supposed to. Nobody's on at police officers, are they? Like, oi, lads, forget about the rape conviction rate for a minute. I need you to post a picture of your own face so we can lighten the mood, Nobody's doing that to the police. Nobody expects the Secretary of Defense or the Vice President of the United States to down tools, to have a laugh on a private messaging. Well, actually, they did. They kind of did do that, didn't they? But you get my point, guys. You get my point. In fact, you know what? Maybe Farage should fucking try this shit, People rocking up to the exit of the Glassworks in Scunthorpe. He turns up in his fucking tweed jacket and his flat cap and his wellies. And they're like, are you here to save us? Are you going to save our jobs, Nige? Is that why? Yeah, you could be like, no. No, I'm not saving shit. I don't save anyone. Actually, sort of quite the opposite. And as much of a fan of fun and heroic, and that would be heroic and very fun for you, as much of a fan of fun and heroic I am, I'm not even considering that. You're not here to Grim Reaper the entire industry again. Well, I don't know yet. We'll see how the day goes. But I thought, while I'm here, as it's a Friday, lads, jump on the Slack channel. Let's make some funny pictures. Guys, last thing you see of him after that shit will just be his wellies and tweed engulfed in a vat of molten, tossed in there by some pissed off workers. Anyway, so I thought I might give this a try myself. I thought I'd jump on ChatGPT, which now does these images. You will recall from earlier editions of the podcast that it used to just be questions, right? You just ask it, what are the most populated countries in the world, and it would know because it's drunk in every encyclopedia ever, and it's like a really good Google. But now it does images too. And so I gave it the same exact prompt as they say on this Reddit thing, as they say that their HR person told them. I gave it the same prompt. I uploaded my photo, and it came out with this. And yeah, I mean, like, what do you guys think? Like, it's kind of got everything that you want there, doesn't it? It's it says that I'm on YouTube. I don't think you can see the logo there because it's a little bit. Here we go. I'll make it a little bit smaller. There you go. It says that I'm on YouTube. Name checks, dystopian news, and I'm obviously, fun and heroic there, and it's it's what it came back with. Somebody in the chat, Zero, is saying, going the extra mile, Aid. Kudos. Shit picture, though. So I get it. Like, it's, it's done an all right job. I mean, I'll never use it for anything, will I? It's, it's brightened up my Friday for a couple of seconds, I think. And it's, it's probably used the same amount of, carbon footprint energy as running my dishwasher 7 times just to generate that one image. So it's fine. It's okay. But yeah, I just thought I'd round off just before we go to the lock-in. I just thought I'd round off by saying, look, I don't have a problem with these sorts of photos, I guess, or people making them. If you're using AI to have fun in the workplace or outside of it, then good for you. Crack on. Truly, I don't have a problem with any of the fake photos. In fact, I love them so much. I'd like to share 2 fakes with you right now. In fact, they're 2 of my favorites. Oh wait, and sorry, I've also got one more. Here you go. All right, guys, that's it. We got a roundup. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We're going to wind it down now. We're going to have the lock-in. Let me know in the chat. Do you want me to get Jacob in? I feel like I might grab him, bring him in. He's probably watching, in fact, in the front room. It's quite sweet. He watches with his mummy, and then he comes in and gate crashes and becomes the star of the show. So let me just round this part up and then we'll jump into the lock-in. So yes, once again, thank you very much to everybody for tuning in. Sorry there was no paper review this morning. I had to take the kids to the dentist, so that's always good. Everything's great there, not that you asked, but I'm quite proud of them. I'll be back next week for the midweek solo show. And of course, next Friday night's live show. And there will be paper reviews every day or most days next week. But if there's not one, if you're missing one day, it's because it's the Easter holidays and I am absolutely slammed. So, until next time, keep it booge, keep it Bimfluencer, and we're out this motherfucker. All right, let's break it down. Where's the lock-in? Here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1, and I'm out.